Hello and welcome to our video. Today we'll be talking about the basis of photosynthesis and how photosynthesis is affected by global warming. This video is brought to you by Jodie Rodriguez and Vanessa Orraca. We hope that you enjoy our video. The equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy will turn into glucose sugar plus oxygen plus water. Photosynthesis is the essential metabolic pathway in which plants produce sugars using energy from the sun, and which occurs within the chloroplast. The chloroplast traps light energy, and water enters the leaf from the stems. CO2 is entered through the stromata, and O2 is released through the stromata.
The light reaction, also known as light-dependent reaction, uses light energy from the sun to make two molecules needed for the next stage of photosynthesis. These two molecules are ATP and the reduced electron carrier NADPH. The light reaction takes place in the thylakoid membrane of organelles called chloroplast. During the light reaction, we have two photosystems. When light is absorbed by the pigments of chlorophyll, energy is passed until it reaches the reaction center. Energy is transferred to photosystem 2, boosting an electron to a high energy level. The exciting electrons travel until they reach the cytochrome complex. This is where the electron transport chain flows while hydrogen ions come through. The electron transport chain is transferred to a water-soluble electron carrier. Then the electrons reach photosystem 1, where NADP+ reduces and creates NADPH. The ATP synthase accomplishes making ADP to ATP. Throughout the process of light reaction, oxygen is produced and released into the atmosphere. The dark reaction, also known as Calvin cycle, does not use light energy from the sun. The dark reaction occurs in the stroma, which is the empty space of the chloroplast. The Calvin cycle has three phases. Phase 1, carbon fixation, is where CO2 is fixed to RuBP by using Rubisco. 6 carbon molecules are cleaved to produce 2 molecules of 3PG. In phase 2, reduction in carbohydrate production is where 6 ATP are used to convert 3PG into 1,3-BPG. From light reaction, NADPH electrons reduce 1,3-BPG to G3P. 2 molecules of G3P are used to produce carbohydrates. The last phase, regeneration of RuBP, uses ATP from the light reaction and G3P to produce RuBP. The 10 molecules of G3P are converted into 6 RuBP and 6 ATP. Then the Calvin cycle starts all over again.
These are the steps of the non-cyclic electron pathway. In the first step, light energy is absorbed by photosystem 2 antenna complex and passed down from molecule to molecule until it reaches the reaction center, which is chlorophyll A. In the second step, excited electron is captured by primary electron acceptor. In the third step, H2O is oxidized to produce H+, which will be used later, and O2, which is released. This will regenerate the electrons. In the fourth step, excited electrons travels down the ETC and in doing so releases energy that is used to convert ADP to ATP through the process of phosphorylation. In the fifth step, light energy absorbed by photosystem 1 is passed down from molecule to molecule until it reaches the react center of chlorophyll. The sixth step, excited electron is captured by primary electron acceptor. The seventh step, electron traveling down the ETC and hydrogen from step 3, the oxidation of water, are used to convert NADP+ to NADPH. In step 8, ATP and NADPH is generated in process used in dark reaction, which is the Calvin cycle. In cyclic electron pathway, it is a cyclic because the electrons flow from the reaction center of photosystem 1 through the electron transport chain and then back to photosystem 1. There may not be sufficient ATP for carbon fixation, so this steps of cyclic electron transport makes up for the imbalance. The basis of it is that number 1, photosystem 1 is used, 2, occurs with NADPH and concentrations are high to build up ATP stores, and 3, no oxygen is released. The main difference between the non-cyclic versus cyclic is within these 5 categories. The first is electron source, and non-cyclic uses water and in cyclic uses none. In the second one, terminal electron acceptor, non-cyclic uses NADP+, while cyclic uses none. In the third, energy capturing form, non-cyclic uses ATP and NADPH, while cyclic only uses ATP. And in the fourth, non-cyclic uses photosystem 1 and 2, while cyclic only uses photosystem 1. And in the fifth one, it poses a question if oxygen is released. In non-cyclic, it does from H2O, and cyclic does not.
In order for plants to live, they need CO2, which helps the plants follow through with the process of photosynthesis. With the process of photosynthesis, the plants release oxygen into the atmosphere. Oxygen is needed in order for us humans to live. However, human beings are harming the process of photosynthesis. You may be wondering how. Well, one of the things harming the process is burning fossil fuels. Carbon is stored in these fossil fuels, which includes the gas we need to drive cars. When fossil fuels are burned, CO2 is released into the air. Deforestation, which is humans removing trees, reduces CO2 uptake. This causes less CO2 being used for photosynthesis. When the CO2 level is too high, it has a huge effect on our planet. Global warming is the result. Global warming causes cold climate areas to increase in temperature. This can lead to ice melting and animal extinction. It can lead to species who thrive in warm habitats to expand, for example, mosquitoes whom carry dangerous diseases. Another effect from global warming is impacting agriculture production. This means we may have trouble growing food that all humans consume. Photosynthesis is not just important for plants, but for human beings too. We should reduce CO2 levels by not driving cars so often and stop deforestation. Then we will live in a happy and healthy planet.
Thank you for watching our video about photosynthesis.